Yo, 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 what up, everybody? It's your boy Nerd. Welcome back to the dungeon. I'm slumming it today. I got the wife beater on. Well, they don't call them wife beaters anymore, right? Like, I'm showing my age. What do they call these now? They're like tank tops, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, we're here. It's Saturday. Settle down, everybody. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching it live, either way, the week is over, right? Tomorrow's Sunday. We can just sit, we can relax, we can work on shit that I want to work on. All the grind of work, all that stuff. Wash off the week, relax, chill. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, if you're maybe watching this video or this VOD or this stream for the first time, every Saturday as an indie developer, I work on a game that I'm designing. And right now, we are teaching ourselves Unity design, and everything we are doing in these dev diaries is 100% free. That's right, free. If you've ever played video games, wanted to design your own video games, never really had the motivation or knew the software or knew where to go to get all the tools, that's what these dev diaries are for. So we decided to choose a engine such as Unity that we've never used before, using software that we've never used before, and trying to do everything from beginning to end for free. That's it. Making a game from scratch for free. So that's what we're doing now today. This is episode 5. So the last episode, and I also watch YouTube videos, which is free. Dark Jones, what up, my guy? Welcome to Dev Diaries. We're using Unity here. I got the dual monitor. I've got a triple monitor, but the stream is on the middle one, and then Unity is over here, and then the YouTube videos and stuff are over here. If you're in my Discord, which is the link is right down below, I actually just posted a selfie of myself with the stream set up, so you can kind of see how it's laid out, a little bit of behind the scenes look. But nonetheless, Saturdays we take 2-3 hours and we just work on Unity and teach ourselves Unity and make a game. And at the end of this Dev Diary series, when this game is all done, I'm going to let my chat name the game. You guys will give it a name as long as it's not like something that's, bad, right? And it can't be a copyrighted name. So we're not going to call it Super Mario Land 5 or no silly shit like that, and nothing like grotesquely like racist or anything like that. But at the end of the whole series, when the game is done and it's working and I'm ready to publish, my chat will name it, and then we'll upload it to Steam for free. And for those of you that don't PC game, I was thinking about this the other day when I was driving. The game's going to be for free. But if you don't play PC games or you don't have a Steam account or whatever the case may be, I will also be uploading it free to play via a browser. So I will release 2 versions, one for Steam to play on PC, and then one to play in any browser. So if you have Chrome, Firefox, Edge, anything like Opera, any of those, Tor, whatever your browser of choice is, you'll be able to go to like a third-party website for free and play the game that you watched Nerd make from scratch, and you got to help name the game. You'll be able to play it for free no matter where you are. So that is the goal. So if you've ever wanted to get into video game design, I highly encourage you to scroll down below, go to my channel, go to my YouTube, watch these VODs, and teach yourself game design. It's that simple. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need to go to school. You don't need to pay somebody thousands and thousands of dollars. You don't need to buy thousands of dollars worth of software. You don't need to pay all these licenses and fees and other companies. You guys can do this. Anybody can do it. It's free and it's easy. I could say to my friend, I know a game developer. That is true. That's true. Now, I have done game development work in the past, but we don't talk about that here. I don't like brag. I don't promote all that stuff, but this is what we're doing. All right. So the last couple episodes we worked on tile sets, we worked on sprites, we worked on all kinds of stuff. But last week we worked on player movement. So we've got our basic sprites in the game. Let it load up here. And we've got ground, so we added collision. We added the jump and the movement mechanics to the game. And we added some slight animation here to the gems. These are just placeholders. So we're going to have to add a way to like collect those when the hitboxes collide. But we also, more importantly, I want to get animation done today for the character. That's my goal at the end of this episode, is to have her fully animated. So when she runs, like, this is an idle animation. That's just the animation if it's standing still. Like, there's got to be an animation when she moves, an animation when she jumps, and right now I can't go through here, right? So I got to crouch. Right now she's crouching, and it looks the same as when she's standing up. So we're going to add some movement-based animations today. And then we will, let's see. I don't know. Let's get that far first. Let's see how the tutorials take us. If you guys are interested in learning Unity, I found this YouTube channel right here called Brackies. Here, I'll go ahead and open up the channel here. If you're interested in learning any other engine as well, they teach Godot, GD Script. Obviously, we're learning the Unity ones. But they are a huge channel. I mean, they have hundreds of thousands of views on their videos, and they teach you coding and game design. They can teach you how to make an RPG in Unity. We might do that, chat, because I really want to make a top-down RPG in the Legend of Zelda kind of style. So we might do this. So once this free game is done, we're going to come back and make an actual game that I want to like market and sell and like publish for people to buy. And that one, I'm really thinking about an RPG. But I don't know, man. I really like 2D platformers too, man. Like, I could really make some cool like Metroid, Super Mario type platformers too, man. So it really is something that I'm thinking about doing. So, I want to say that I know nothing about animating a character in Unity. So, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to watch this video. We're going to listen along. I'm going to follow kind of steps. There'll be a lot of pausing and trial and error into Unity. So, that's what I'm going to do now. So, I know nothing about animation in Unity. By the end of this video, I will know animation. It's that simple. It's that simple, guys. You live in the greatest age right now where you can learn anything you want to learn. You want to learn how to be a mechanic? Go online and teach yourself how to be a mechanic. We live in the best age right now. The best. All of this knowledge at your fingertips. Do what you've always wanted to do. It's right here.
So when it comes time to start adding animation to your game, there are really two primary ways to go about it. The first one, and probably the most commonly used, is sprite sheet animation. This is also the technique that most people recognize from traditional animated movies, because it simply means drawing a bunch of images, each with a tiny bit of movement, and then playing them back by quickly displaying them one by one. Our character from the previous video on 2D movement already has sprite sheet animation set up in exactly this way, so that's what we're going to be using for this video. But first, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 22,000 quality classes on game development, tech, and more. If, for example, you want to learn how to create your own custom game art, I really suggest checking out this awesome course on the fundamentals of creating pixel art for games. It's a really well-structured and visual course that I personally really enjoyed. A premium Skillshare membership gives you unlimited access to all classes for less than $10 a month. So to get started, simply click the link in the description and the first 500 people will receive their first 2 months for free. Also, special thanks to Michael Neely, Clinton Fanskiwa, Andrew Kalinenko, Cheetah 3D.
Wait, is that legit? Did you say you can get the first 2 months for free? Check out Skillshare. First 2 months for free? All right, I'm going to sign in, but I'm going to move this window to another screen to where you guys don't see my passwords. Sign in with Google. Yes, Nerd Dungeon. Continue. All right, I'm being redirected now. Skillshare code entered. Get an additional 3% back. No, I'm good right now. Look at that, bro. I guarantee you I wasn't the first 2 people or 500 people to click. This video is like 28. Dude, this video is 6 years old. So I think that's a long running link right there. I think that one is that's funny. So Skillshare, starting January 1st, it's $13.99 a month. And of course, you gotta fill out like all this stuff. But the point of this Dev Diary is everything has to be free. So, assuming you're like a 16-year-old kid in your mom's house and you want to try building your own games, or you're 60, 70 years old and you're, you know what I mean? I'm assuming that because times are tough, the economy's in the toilet, you know, prices of everything are sky high. The last thing you want to do is pay for more shit. So that was the point of this Dev Diaries, was to make everything as low cost, as free as possible.
Alexander Blair for their support on Patreon. And I think we're now ready to start animating our character. However, there is another approach that I think you should at least be familiar with, and that is skeletal animation. As the name suggests, this animation technique works by binding bones to our sprites, which will then move and distort the images as we drag the bones around. The cool thing about this particular workflow is that it allows us to draw our character only once and then animate him fully inside of Unity. If you want to try out skeletal animation, Unity has a free asset on the asset store called Anima 2D that should help you get started. And definitely let us know if this is something that you would like to see a dedicated video on. Alright, enough talking, let's start animating. So we're here in the same scene as when we did our 2D movement. You can of course use any scene and character that you'd like. In this one we're able to move and jump around as well as crouch beneath platforms. But of course currently we have no animations in here. To change this, let's start by setting up some animation clips. To do this, we'll go to our scene view and select our player. We'll then
Okay, so we'll go to scene view, select our player, and I've got a bunch of rigid bodies and collision detectors already attached. So I think all the work on that is done.
Then open up our animation window. So we'll go under Window, Animation, and select Animation. And as you can see, it tells us that to begin animating the player, we need to create both an animator and an animation clip. We'll talk about the difference between the two in a sec. For now, let's just hit create. And now we can choose where we want to save our animation. Let's right click and create a separate folder for this. And let's call it animation. Let's then double click this folder. And let's also rename this animation file to something like player. And then underscore the animation that we want to work on. This could be run, jump, or die. In our case, let's start with an idle animation. In other words, the animation that the player plays when he isn't really doing anything. We can then press save.
Okay.
So now we have
because I've already got animations in here. So let's get rid of these. Let's go to my file browser here. And we'll go to desktop. We'll go to pizza game, pizza platform. Oh, let me drive this over here. Sorry about that, chat. Then we'll go to assets, animations, character controller. Okay, so those are gone. So we're going to select the player, create an animation, and it's in our animations folder. We're going to try, he said name it player, and then we're going to do idle. So that's the animation that'll play when the player's standing still and not doing anything. Hit save.
this empty timeline here where we can drag in our animation sprites. Of course, the great thing about our character here is that he already comes with a bunch of images that we can use. So let's go under Sunnyland. And of course, if you want to download any of this, I will have a link for that in the description. We then go under Artwork, Sprites, and under the player, we can see that the sprites are split up into animation folders.
Okay, so we need to find our animation folders. So we have Attack, Hurt, Dead, Idle. Okay, there's Idle right there.
Let's start by going under the Idle folder, and here are 4 different images. If we just try and select one of them, we can see a preview in the bottom right here. Of course, it's pretty tiny, but if I go ahead and move through the images, we can see that they are indeed animating our character. So let's try and select all 4 sprites, and let's simply click and drag them into our animation window. And right away, we can see that 4 keyframes has been added. We can also see that if I hit play, the animation plays ridiculously fast. The reason for this is that we need to change the amount of images that are displayed each second. Currently our samples are set to 60. A pretty standard value to use here is something like 12. We can see if we now play through.
Wait. How do you do that?
Play, the animation plays ridiculously fast. The reason for this is that we need to change the amount of images that are displayed each second. Currently our samples are set to 60, a pretty standard.
Okay. So how do we change? Oh, that's 1 second. I thought that was a minute down here, chat. Okay, so we'll change it to 1 minute or 1 second. The animation loops every second. That's pretty cool. So if we click off of that, you can kind of see her moving. Let's go over here. Let's go to the game view. So we're not touching anything, and you see her kind of doing that little bounce. You know what's not cool? What's cool? What's not cool, Johnny? I like that right there. Just a really quick, simple, idle animation. You? I'm very cool. I'm cooler than you, fool. I like that animation right there. That's dope. Just a simple idle animation. Nothing too fancy. Okay.
Standard value to use here is something like 12. We can see if we now play through, the animation looks much better. And we can even scrub through it using this timeline marker. And if we wanted to, say, move around a few images, we can of course do that by simply clicking and dragging, or just press delete in order to remove one. But I'm just going to leave my animation as is. And let's go ahead and set up a few other ones while we're at it. So let's go to where it says player idle here, and let's hit create new clip.
Create new clip. Okay.
Again, we want to make sure we do this inside the animation folder. And this time, let's create one called player_run. Now let's go.
Okay. Player_run. Okay.
Under our run folder, let's select all of our sprites and drag them in. Again.
Oh, that was easy. So run. Or we'll just do walk. What the fuck? Alright, something went terribly wrong there. What the shit happened there?
Again, we want to decrease our samples to 12. And if we now hit play, we can see our character is running.
Yeah, right. My character ain't doing that. Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. Alright, it looks like it's not set up into separate keyframes. Okay, that's not going to work for me. So we'll delete that. And I just deleted my character. Alright, edit. Undo, delete game objects. Player run animation clip. I have player. What the fuck is going on? Okay, so the idle's still working. So this player run. Okay. Somehow it's only letting us put one animation in. Player sprite. That's the animator. Player idle. Player run. Yeah. Why is it doing that? It's not changing anything. So back to the animator. We're in idle. We'll just delete that whole animation. There's no way I goofed anything up. There's no individual sprites for this. So attack. Maybe I'm in the wrong folder? PSD. No, it's the Musketeer. Musketeer. Hurt. See, that has two style sets. But this isn't broken down into... Wait, another window just popped up. Walk.png. So why is this not breaking it up into... Let's see, animations. Player idle. And the idle is set. The idle is good. Player, and that's the animator controller. So I have player idle in, and it's fine. So why can I not create a new animation and name it player walk? We'll just do walk. We're not going to do run. Because then you'd have to put like multiple speed variables in order to get it to move at different speeds. And I don't really feel like doing that. So now we have player walk. Go to here to the walk animations. and it won't let me drag them in. Okay. So is that because it's not a sprite set? Is that, like, why is it doing this? Like, when I go to idle, I can see the individual frames right down here. But when I go to walk, I get one frame, but with all the different sprites on it. So how do I break that up? I don't know. Properties? This is to walk, pivot, border. I'm completely stuck. Texture type, 2D, sprite mode, single, multiple? I'm stumped. Because I don't know how to do that. Each individual file. Let me take a look. Let's take a look here, chat. Pizza game. It's under assets, character, musketeer. We'll change this view to large icons so we can see them. Okay. So the idle is here. And it's one sheet. It's one sheet with 5 cells. So my walk animation is one sheet with 8 cells. Should be fine. Walk PNG meta? What if I rename this? Yeah, fuck it. Well, that didn't work. I guess we'll rename it walk. We'll put it back. Walk png.meta. There we go. So Unity is not breaking down the sprite sheet into multiple sprites. Got it. So let me go back over here. Sprites. Player. Run. See, these are the ones he's working on right here. Well, I'm officially stumped. So now we go to the next free resource. Unity will not split animation cells. Uses split animations table to indicate which frames make up each animation clip. Define the frames range for each animation sequence. So trim clips in Unity by tripping the clip. Okay. Fucking AI. So go to import settings. Use the split animations table to indicate which frames make up each animation clip. Project settings. Where's imports? That's input. Editor. Graphics. Ooh, company name. I can do that. There we go. I have no idea, chat. I have no fucking idea. Packages? Alright, it's none of those. It's none of this Sunnyland artwork bullshit. It's right here. It's right here in front of me. I gotta figure this out. Walk animation. It's right there. So that's the walk animation. Oh my god, some cunt. Frank orders in the last 2 days totaling $500. Oh my god. I'd be heated. Dun, 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 dun. This is wrong. I'm dragging it in as an object. So the game is seeing it as an object and not an animation? I'm going to re-import this. Sprite. Hold on, I think I might have found something. So it's Sprite 2D multiple type extrude edges 1. Multiple. That's player 1. What? Where the fuck? Player walk. Multiple type 1. I'm just reading to myself, chat here. Pixels per unit 1,000. Okay. Still can't drag it in. Asset post processors. Wait, what? Compression, none. Compression, none. Apply. Still nothing. Oh, and either our morning cook or the GM left 2 little shot bottles of booze sitting behind the front register. Nice. Nice. Bro, I have no idea what I'm doing. The idol's there. But the walk is not. They mine now. I don't know what to do. Where's my browser? I need a better answer. Okay. Unity animation frames are not splitting. Define frame ranges. In the animation import inspector's animation tab, define the frame ranges. For example, you can define a walk animation for frames 1 through 33. Create a separate... I don't like reading the AI's fucking... Why does my animation break when split in Unity? Splitting animations. Yeah. Cookies, fine, bye. An animated character typically has a number of different movements that are activated in the game in different circumstances. These movements are called animation clips. For example, we might have separate animation clips for walking, running, jumping, throwing, dying, etc. These separate movements must be imported as distinct animation clips or as one single clip where each movement simply follows on from the previous one. In cases where there is only a single clip, the clip must be split into its component animation clips within Unity, which will involve some extra steps in your workflow. That's what I think the problem is. It's not split properly. Unsplit animations. For models where the clips are supplied as one continuous animation, the animation tab and the animation importer inspector will look like this. You can define the frame ranges that correspond to each of the animation sequences. You can create a new animation clip like custom plus. What? Yeah, man, split that animation. Appreciate it, fool. Animating objects and properties in Unity using Mechanin. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so the walk animation here. Sprite 2D and UI. Sprite mode. Single? No. There's multiple sprites. Sprite editor. Slice. Automatic. Did that just work? Apply. Close it out. So now our player walk animation. Click all these. Still not letting us fucking import them. You fuck. Come on. You bastard. I split them all. Bruh. This is seriously aggravating. So now why can't I import them? Does that have to be the single? Sprite editor. Center's fine. That's all fine. That's just the sizing. Is that the opacity? Alright, there is no opacity. Removes all existing sprites and it recreates them from scratch. Smart attempts to create new sprites while retaining or adjusting existing ones. This slicing method does not remove any existing sprites. Apply. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it should be. So that's jump. The walk animation from here to here. So animation, player idle, player walk. It's open. Musketeer. Close out the idle bullshit. Close out the run bullshit. Now I can't drag the fucking cells in. Alright, now we've got problem number 2. Back to good old Google. Unity animation frames not loading into Animator. Unity not letting me drag and drop PNGs into animation window. Support idle animation run character, blah, 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 blah. If you already have a character set up with rigid body scripts and you're trying to make your animations, the easiest thing to do is simply import your frames. Call it idle or whatever. Yeah, I heard Unity trash. No, Unity's actually a really good engine. What's trash is me. I'm trash. I know nothing about Unity and I'm teaching it to myself. From there, you can set up your animator to have that animation as its default state by simply dragging and dropping the idle animation into the animator. Okay, so just click these. Let's go back to my animations. We're going to delete the player walk animation. We're going to go back to the animation cells themselves, highlight them all, and then create animation. What? That worked? All right, now we have to bind that animation to. Am I trash or am I garbage? I'm. I see what you did there. I'm garbage, buddy. I'm garbage. We're all. Half of us are all garbage, right? I'm garbage. I'm getting picked up by the truck on Tuesday night. Alright, player 1. Player walk. Can't play animation. So,
let's quickly do this for the crouch animation as well. So player underscore crouch. We'll go into the crouch folder, select both of them, and drag them in. Again.
Okay, so your little fucking plan ain't working over there, you fucking talking box. Attack, attack, dead, jump, run, walk. So apparently she doesn't have a crouch animation. Attack 1, attack 2. Idle. Hurt. She has a jump. That was hit or miss on whether you'd get that. I pay attention, my guy. I pay attention. So we don't have a crouch, so we're going to make a jump animation. And I'm going to grab this. Properties. Wait, how did I do that? Walk is done. Idle. Jump. Here we go. Sprite editor. Slice. Won't let me slice it though. Great. Boom, 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 boom. And I can't move that window. Why won't it let me do sprite mode? Multiple. Sprite editor. Slice. I think we're getting somewhere. Apply. Done. Close that out. Alright, so now click that one to that one. Create animation. Where are we? Where are we at? And we're going to name it player jump. So we've got player walk, player jump, and then whatever the player idle is. I don't think any of the animations are going to take effect because we haven't coded them properly. And she doesn't have a fucking crouch animation. So that's a pain in the dick. We'll just leave that there. Get that out of the way. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention. Trust me. I get it. But I'm one of those, like, sarcastic assholes. You know what I mean? I catch on to a lot of shit. Okay. So we've got her moving. And a crouch animation doesn't exist for her, so we'll come back to that later. But for now, we've got our animations. Let's get her coded so she does the animations.
And we'll set the samplers to 12. Again, the animation plays fine. And finally, let's add our jump animation. Player underscore jump. We'll go into the jump folder, select both sprites, drag them in, change the samples to 12. And if we try and play this one, we'll notice that it looks kind of weird. The reason is that our jump animation is made up of only 2 keyframes. One for when we are going upwards, and one for when we are falling back down. Now we could of course go in and create these as 2 different animations. However, I think that's just overcomplicating things. Instead, I'm just going to go in and change the samples to a much lower value like 2. I think this is going to change our sprite around the time when we're at the peak of our jump, but we'll see that later. So now we've set up all 4 animation clips, and if we go into the animation folder, we can see all of them here. Player idle, player crouch, run, and jump. And we can also see another...
But I don't see those in here. Idle. So I need to go back into Musketeer. There's player 1. There's jump. And walk. So now we have player idle, player jump, player walk. Did it do it automatically, or do I still gotta code that shit? We'll find out. Okay, so she moves and she jumps. Still. And I gotta get rid of that crouch feature, because she doesn't have a crouch animation. I guess I could create a crouch animation, but I'm not a good pixel artist. So we'll go ahead and take a look now. Let's keep watching. We've got all of our animations in the right folder this time, chat. So we're just working with idle, which... Let me make sure that's still working. Okay, so the idle animation's working. It's very subtle, but it's working. And it's on a loop. The player jump. That's at a half a second? Oh, that's going to look like shit when we finally animate it. And the walk is at just over half a second animation. And we can set it to loop. That would be funny as hell once she jumps and the animation doesn't stop. Okay, so all of my animations are where they need to be in the correct folder. Yeah, that was definitely, if you know, you know. And if you're a garbage person, if you don't know, then you still believe a fat man bring presents down your non-existent chimney once a year.
Other file in here, simply called...
You'd have to be living under a rock right now. If somebody calls you garbage in this country at this time and you don't get the reference, you're literally living under a rock.
Player, which has a different icon. This is what we... Another file here, play all 4 animation clips. And if we go into the animation folder, we can see all of them here. Player idle, player crouch, run, and jump. And we can also see another file in here, simply called player, which has a different icon. This is...
Yeah. Looks like this.
What we call the animator controller. The animator controller is called a controller because it controls what animations to play. If
Oh, so I fucked up when I named that. That might be why I'm having problems. Character animator controller. Delete. Player. Okay.
If we double click this, it's going to open up in our animator window. So here we notice that one of our windows is called animation. This is where we create our actual animations. And another one is called the animator because this is where we choose what animations we want to play. And in here we can also see that it's already added our 4 animation clips. We can now drag these around and arrange them in any way that we would like.
What? Any state, player idle. I don't see them in here. Do I have to drag them? Well, idle's already in there. So player jump and player move or player walk. Yeah. I remember this from Unreal.
And if for some reason one of them isn't in here for you, you can always take an animation clip from the project and simply drag it in. And you can of course also select and remove them. You'll notice here that currently the player idle is marked as orange. And it's connected with this arrow going from the green entry state.
Right.
The reason for this is that the idle animation is currently our default animation. In other words, it's what will begin playing right when we start our game. So if we were to now hit play, we can see indeed our player starts playing the idle animation right away. And even though we move around and jump and try and crouch, it's just going to keep playing idle. In fact, if we select our player and go under the animator, we can see the animation looping right here.
Really? Oh shit. This guy's not lying to us. That's dope. To be fair, my 50-year-old mother-in-law, who's currently unemployed, is working as an unpaid intern for them and keeps having to borrow money from us, holding out hope that after Tuesday she's getting a paid position and is getting transferred. Hey.
So let's stop playing, and we can now start to create transitions from the idle animation to the other clips.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to set another animation as the default, we can always right-click and hit Set as Layer Default State. And that's simply going to change it. So whenever we start running, we of course want to change from the idle animation to our run animation. And we do this using what is called a transition. So if we take our player run here and just place it underneath our idle animation, we then right click on our idle and hit make transition. And we now get this arrow that we can drag out to the other animation clips. If we then click player run, we've created a transition from our idle to our run animation. And if we select this transition, we can change when and how we want it to occur. So the first thing that we need here is to add a condition, because we don't want our transition to just play right away. We only want it to play in the case that we're actually moving. But currently our animator has no idea whether our character is moving or not. To change this, we use something called a parameter. So if we go to the left here, we can see that we have 2 tabs, layers and parameters. We want to go under parameters and hit the plus sign, and here we can now create a new parameter. We're going to create a float, and this float is going to represent our player's speed. So we'll call it speed, and we'll just default it to 0. Then under our condition, we can now hit the plus sign to create a new condition on our transition. And here we can say that we only want to transition to our run animation if our speed is greater than, and it will just input some small number like 0.01. In other words, if we start moving, well then we want to transition to a run animation.
What?
We also want to go in here
easy?
and make sure that this transition is...
Damn. Bro, we went from last episode to writing code to get the fucking movement. Like, we literally had to go to code. Like, we were writing code to get the... Now we're dragging and dropping and clicking it inside of Windows.
It's immediate. In other words, we don't want something called X want to go. In other words, if greater than, and it will just input some small number like 0.01. In other words, if we start moving, well then we want to transition to a run animation. We also want to go in here and make sure that this transition is immediate. In other words, we don't want something called exit time, where we wait for the animation to stop playing before we start playing a new one. No, we simply want to transition as soon as we start moving. So I'm simply going to disable that. Let's also go under settings, and here we can choose the duration of our transition. This is not something that you often use when creating 2D games, but it's used all the time to blend between animations in 3D games. But for us, again, we want this to be completely immediate, so we'll go in and set the transition duration to 0. Of course, we also want to be able to transition back from our run animation. Currently, we will only be able to go from our idle to run, and then even though we stop moving, it will still play our run animation. So we'll go in here and right click and make a new transition. This one is going to go to idle. Let's...
Okay. So make it transition back to idle. That's probably if we stop any input.
Select our
if the speed goes back to 0 is what I'm assuming.
And add a new condition. This time we only want to transition if the speed is less than
0.01. Yeah. Well, the problem is the job depends on if they win.
And then we'll again add a tiny number here, so 0.01. Again, we don't want any exit time, and under settings, we'll set the transition duration to 0.
So no exit times and transition duration to 0. So that just makes it immediate. Is what the way he's explaining that is. You don't want like a pause in between the two animations. So if he's standing still playing the idle animation and then I hit move, there will be a slight delay between the two transitions, and this exit time removes that. So it's immediately after I hit the button, the next animation plays.
And now our animator should actually work with these two animations. In fact, if we take our animator and dog it to the right here, and then try to hit play, we can see that by default it plays the idle animation. But if I then go and change the speed, say set it to 1, our character starts running. And as soon as I set it back to 0, he goes...
Oh, chat, I'm right, prices settle down, this crap hurts. It does, 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and save my progress here. Chat, I'm really nervous. This better work. I know it's gonna look like dog shit, but it better work. It doesn't work. It's not working. So it's still only playing the idle animation. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? It's not playing a movement animation when the bitch moves. Hey, Ray, welcome to the stream. Ray, tell me why my animation's not working. Thanks for chatting, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Oh, this is so aggravating. Okay. So, go in here, player idle. If your speed value is set to 0 and not changing, your code should modify speed. Okay. Oh, speed right here? But that's... Wait a second. Speed up here on player idle is 1, but that's the speed of the animation itself for the idle animation. So the transition, the speed greater than 0.1, and then the transition back is less than 0.1. Speed value set to... So I should change this? If we try 1? Hold on. I just joined the stream, by the way. From what I can see, your transition from idle to walk, when the speed parameter goes above 0.1, you should be changing that via code when you move. Okay. I appreciate the input. that's okay, so now... Okay. Progress? Maybe should be 0.01? I am. Could I see your script? Yeah, no problem. I am. Well, this is my 5th episode, and I'm teaching myself Unity from like ground up. Like I knew nothing about Unity the day I opened it up, so I'm self-teaching and watching YouTube videos. So please pardon my ignorance. So open up my code, and you said I should leave the speed to 0 and modify it through code. Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Please don't pick on me. It's embarrassing enough. All right. I had code open last stream. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I had it open last stream. How the hell? Hierarchy. Edit. Very, very little. Very, very little. Like, I know my basics around, like, Python and GD script, but I'm going to take the L right here, and I don't remember how to open up the coding in Unity. Is it under Windows? I know there's, like, an edit. Visual scripting. No, that's not it. Yeah, it's next to no panel. No, that's not it either. Services component game object. No, that's inserting. Assets, no. I was able to open it up through... Nope, that's not it. Script should be in your player. You can select the player in the hierarchy and double click the script. Ah, no. Hierarchy here. There you go, player movement. Right side in the inspector. Oh, I thought you were asking me to open up the, like the actual code editor. Player movement here, and then open up the script. Open. Yeah, I tried. Oh, to player movement. There we go. I was just clicking the wrong one. My apologies. Like, when I said new, I meant new. Alright, we'll close that out. No, you can get out of here. Alright, so... Let me blow that up a little bit more. Dang, there's a joke there, but I can't work it out. Screw you, Johnny. Alright, so I want to look for speed. Horizontal movement, 0F. Did you write code that access the animator and changes the speed parameter? Not yet. No. No. Not yet. I'm hoping that this video tutorial was getting to that next. That's why. The only code I wrote was here. Was the movement controller stuff. And I did that last week. That's all we did last week. Like, we are in day 4 of putting this game together. So, and let me tell you, Ray, it took me probably a good 2 hours to get this code to work last week. So, but we're doing good. We're making progress. So yeah, all this access, all the horizontal movement. I don't need, man, we've all been there. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So I did originally go to school for game design, a little bit of backstory. And I did 3D modeling, and I worked a lot with 3D Maya and Blender, and I did like textures and stuff like that. I never worked with, in that side of it, I never worked with too much code, never did any of the animation stuff or the actual design. I was the graphic guy. So I'm a little in my element and a little outside of my element. There's a show or game, something that references Unity, but I can't remember the reference. So, Johnny, a lot of your favorite games, like right now, were made in Unity. So, all right. So, we are going to back out of that. Player. All right. And we did all the rigid bodies, all the colliders, everything last week from scratch. Like, I knew nothing about... Well, I knew, like, what colliders and rigid bodies were, but I didn't know how to do them. The only experience I have in 2D platformers was in Godot, but Godot has its own scripting language, and it's a lot different. So I'm guessing if you continue watching the video, he'll show you the code part there. I'm hoping. But so far, what he's showing me here is not working. You missed the 30 minutes prior, Ray, where I couldn't get the animation frames to separate themselves. And see, it's not playing. See, like, it's still doing player idle. So I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping this is code related and we can fix that. So let's finish watching.
Right back to idling. So now all we need to do is change this speed parameter through our script. And that is actually fairly easy. So if we now select our player.
Ray! 10 seconds. That's all we had to wait was 10 seconds. I'm such a fucking idiot. All right, let's watch this shit. Let's watch this. Hold on. Oh fuck.
And if you haven't watched the video where we set up player movement, we're basically using two scripts.
Yeah, we did that already.
One is the character controller that takes care of all the physics that go into making our character move. And the second one is a much simpler player movement script where we simply tell the player when to move and at what speed. So let's go ahead and open up this player movement script. And the first thing that we want is to be able to access our...
You mean the one that I just had open and I closed? No one's arguing with that logic. I appreciate it, Johnny. Oh, fuck, man. No, I don't want your release notes. I'm not smart enough to read them.
Our animator. Luckily, if we have a look in Unity, we can see that when we started creating animations for our player, Unity actually added an animator component to our player. And we don't need to do any adjustments in here. We can just see that the component is actually referencing the controller. And so that's why whenever we make a change to our animator...
Shit, that's right. It's right here. So it's referencing the animation controller. We just haven't coded it yet. Ray, you're a fucking genius. Pardon my French. All right.
The controller, it applies to our player. So now we just need to be able to control our animator through our player movement script. And to do that, we need to reference it. So we'll go in here and create a public animator. And we'll
that's easy.
Just call it animator.
And then he wraps it with the semicolon. Okay. So, I actually got to sit up for this now. All right. Public, and then animator, and then why didn't it turn orange? What? Well, yeah. And then wrap it. Oh. At least you put pants on today. Hey, you don't know that I have pants on. You don't know that I have pants on. What I do on my Saturdays...
And that's basically it. If we now save this and go into Unity, we can see that we have this empty animator field. And
really? That was it? So we should have an empty animator field. No, it's not. I kind of figured it's not it. He's like, that's it. That's for the referencing part, yeah. Yeah, I like how he squeezed that in there. He was like, and the rest of it? That's it. That guy's great. No, because if you didn't have pants on, there would be a hella glare. Wow, Johnny. Wow. So we've got the animation controller. Okay, so that is... But it's not referencing Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, I see it there. Okay, cool. All right, on to the next part of the video.
And this is where we can drag in our animator component. So now
Wait, what? Did I close that out? Which component did he drag in? I missed that. Now drag and drop the AZ animator into the new field? Which animation? All of them? Or the controller itself? The animator component, drag and drop it into the new field. Oh, this one here? What? I did that already. Yeah, it's right there. Oh shit, down here. I'm such a dick. The component, the inspector. Player movement, animator. Literally where it says animator. Oh, that word? Drag that to down there. We're making games, chat. Ray's like, what kind of dumb fucking idiot did I stumble on? This is the best Twitch has to offer right now, right? Okay, let's see where we're at
empty
now.
animator field, and this is where we can drag in our animator component. So now every time we write animator in our script, we can access this component right here. And so if we go into the update function where we get our movement, we can actually go in here and write animator dot set float, and then we give it the name of the float that we want to set. Remember, this is the name of our parameter. So inside of our animator, we can see that the name of our parameter is speed. And notice that this has a capital S. So inside of our script, we can then write speed with a capital S like this, and then comma, and then we can give it the value that we want. In our case, we wanted to give it our current horizontal speed of our character, which is this horizontal move variable right here. So we'll simply write horizontal move and close it off with a simple.
Okay, bet. Oh, shit. Because I'm so white, he says. Alright. Fuck off. Stop showing me shit. Alright. So he put that update is called once per frame void update. Not void fixed update. Float horizontal move 0F. Horizontal move. If input get button down jump. I need to get this crouch out of here because she doesn't have a crouch animation. I'm not going to be doing that. I keep forgetting. Alright, so right under the run speed, I guess, a new one. Yeah. So we'll do, yeah, animator dot set float. And then the speed and then horizontal move. Okay. Capital P or capital S. Horizontal move. And close it out with a semicolon. That's it?
Semicolon. But there is a tiny mistake in here, and that is that our horizontal movement will be positive whenever we're going to the right, and it will actually be negative whenever we're moving.
Oh, he's right. So do we need to have
to the left, and we want our speed variable to always be positive. So to change that, we can go in and use a handy little function called mathf dot
Ray, you're a genius.
Abs for absolute. So this is going to take the value and make sure that it's always positive.
Got you. Got you. That makes sense. Okay. Math dot abs. And we're going to parentheses that in. So it's double parenthesis. No. Why did I do that? Why didn't it double? Oh, I didn't add the other one there. All right. So that's just going to convert all negative numbers to make them all positive.
So if we now save this and go into Unity and hit play, we can see that as soon as we start moving, our character is going to play the run animation. And
bullshit, it was that easy. Bullshit. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Nah, you're fine, Ray. Hey, you're like 10 times smarter than I am right now, so you can make mistakes and still be better than me at this. That's what's nice. No way it worked though. Let's try it out. All compiler errors have to be fixed before you enter play mode. What? Player access movement. The name math does not exist in the current context. It's math F, not math. Oh, did I type it wrong? Oh, I'm such a dumb fuck. So I appreciate it, Ray. I appreciate it a lot, brother. Oh my god. All right, save. Wait. So if you never mind. So we'll just recompile it. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, I'm scared to hit this button. I'm really scared. Jump animation looks so stupid. Ah! I have movements. Alright, cool. So, following his... Now, this is where I get in trouble. So, following his stuff here. So, if we go to player, we're in the animator. We need to make a... Now, do we do it when he's idle? Or do we do it when she's when walking? It can be either or. Because the player can be in either state and then jump. So we're going to make a new transition to jump. Click on that. No exit time. Add a speed greater than 0.1. We'll go in the settings. No fixed duration. I still want to adjust the speed of her walk animation though. I don't think it flows the same speed of the animation, but I can come back to that. And then we'll do another transition back to idle. Make that transition, no exit time, no fixed duration, 0. Speed is less than 0.1. And I forgot to make this transition time 0 as well. Fixed duration, 0. Okay, so that's from the idle point. But we haven't coded the jump animation just yet. We got to do that in scripting, I'm assuming. So we'll make another transition from walk. You should have a power-up similar to the Mario Mushroom, but it's a tab of acid. Hey, this is a chat designs the game kind of scenario, but we can't do it. It's going to be a free game that we upload, but I'm still not going to get copyrighted my ass off. Even though it's a free game, I'd like to not get sued. So, no exit time, speed greater than 0.01. There should be a copy and paste function for all this. 0. And then we'll make another transition back to walk. Wait, that's not going to work. That's not going to work because it's not going to know which animation to call if I just let go of the controls, right? Or no, it will, because movement, the walk animation is dependent on movement. So if I let go of the jump button and she falls to an idle state, the speed will be 0, so it'll call the idle trend. Okay. Don't mind me. Thinking out loud, Chad. Thinking out loud. All right, so we go here. Is it time? speed is less than 0.01. Settings, no fixed duration of 0. So we'll do that. And I did that on that one too. Fixed duration 0. Speed's greater. Speed's less. Speed's less with zeros, greater with zeros. Okay. Now I just got to add to the script to call to the jump animation. Right? And what the fuck is this asset? Doesn't have an exit time or any condition. Transition will be ignored. What? Hold up. I messed something up here. Bruh. That's all broken. Okay. We will fix it in scripting. Okay.
And as soon as we stop, he goes right back to idling. Awesome. Now we want to be able to jump no matter what animation is currently playing. So whether we are idling or running, we always want to be able to jump off the ground. And so we could go in here and create a transition from each single clip to our jump animation. But as we add more clips, that would quickly become very tedious.
You fucker. I shouldn't have skipped ahead.
Yes. So instead we can use this any state right here. And this basically allows us to create transitions from, well, any state. So no matter if we're idling or running, we can transition to our jump animation using this node here. So I'm just going to take this and drag it down and drag the entry up here to get it out of the way. And let's take our jump animation and drag it over here. And now
you fucker. I miss working with nodes in Unreal. Nodes made game design so much easier, bro. When I made a first person shooter for class, and you know it was stupid. It was no skin. It was like blocky as hell. But 90% of everything in that class was all nodes in Unreal Engine. None of it was any of this scripting. So we'll go to any state, we'll take the player jump. I'm assuming we're just gonna move these. You fucking can't. I might as well just delete them and start over. Fuck it. Delete. Okay.
we can transition from any state to jump. And of course, we still need to go in here and specify a condition. Otherwise, we're just going to be jumping all the time. And for this condition, we need a new parameter. So that's
Gotcha. Make transition to jump. A new parameter. Float.
hit the plus sign, and this time we want it to be of type bool. Are we jumping or not? We'll call this is jumping, and we'll just set it to false by default. And then under the condition here, we can hit the plus sign. This time we don't want to check for
is jumping. And what did he say? Set it to false. Okay.
speed. Instead, we want to check if is jumping is true. And again,
yeah. Got it.
and if it is, we don't want any exit time. And we also want to set the transition duration to 0.
So no exit time. Duration to 0. Got it, Mr. Voice in a Box. Got it.
Of course, we also want to be able to transition back from jumping. So let's go ahead and create a transition to the player idle here. And we only want this to play if we are currently not jumping. So it's
Make transition, player idle. And condition is jumping false.
is jumping is false. And our current speed is currently less than 0.01. And so this is really cool. We can add as many conditions to these transitions as we want. Let's also add one to play run, so we'll make another transition here. And this one we want to play in the case that, again, we are not jumping, so is jumping is false.
Is jumping is false. With a exit time gone, fixed duration of 0.
And the speed is currently greater than 0.01. Again,
Speed is greater than 0.01. Okay. Still getting a shit ton of console errors.
we want to make sure to go through both these transitions and set has exit time to false and the transition duration to 0.
0, 0. This one has exit time of 0. Wait, he's supposed to have fixed duration. Is this checked on all my other ones? I'm just going to recheck it on these. Your console error? Yeah. I broke it. Okay.
And the same for the other one. And now our animator should be set up. Of course, we still need to make sure to control our isJumping parameter through our script. And if
Scripting time.
we go into our movement script, we can see that we currently get some input for whether or not we want to jump. And of course, we can go in here and set jumping to true. So we'll go animator dot set bool this time because it's a Boolean parameter that we want to change. The parameter is jumping. And here we want to set it to true. However, we actually don't have a way of knowing when we want to.
All right, give me a second, dickhead. I gotta get that typed in here. Set bool. I lost it. Oh, there it is. Is jumping and then set to true. Is jumping. What? True. And wrap it up. And now, what was he talking about?
Stop jumping. Because all we're doing here is really giving our player controller input. There's no place in our code where we have anything about actually landing again. To get around this, I've gone ahead and added a bit of extra code to our character
Wouldn't that be colliders detected or collision detection?
controller. If we select our player and open up the character controller, we can see
We'll find out. Player.
that there's a section here called events. And in here, there's an on-land event. Events
Wait,
basically
what? That's under character controller? Events, on land events. Okay.
allows us to trigger certain functionality when something occurs. In this case, this event will be triggered whenever our character lands on the ground. And so we can use this to tell our player movement when to stop jumping. To do that, we need to go in and create a separate function for this. We'll create a void. We'll call it something like on landing. We'll open
He says we'll call it something like on landing. You're not calling it something. You're calling it exactly what the code calls for. I just can't call it, pee pee poo poo. Dude, my 14-year-old already prestige in Black Ops 6, and it makes me so mad. That's because you suck, bro. I prestiged like 2 days ago. Weren't you watching the stream?
And close some parentheses, and the same with some curly brackets. And in here, all we want to do is tell our animator
No? Well, you're garbage, bro. Get good, lol. What the hell is going on with this code? Avoid landing. I don't get to play that much. I know, I'm just giving you shit. So that should be... There. Tab in. What's he doing?
to stop jumping. So we'll go animator.setBall is jumping, and we'll set it to false. And this will...
Okay. So we'll go animator dot is jumping. Oh, I got a set bool. He got 2 times the playtime of me. It is double XP right now, though. Set bool is jumping. And we'll go false. Get it out. Close it up.
will work just fine, but in order for our event to be able to see this function, we need to mark it as public. And this might look a bit strange to...
Why wouldn't you just do that in the beginning, dude? Anybody watching this right now is like obviously doing this from a beginner's point of view. He's doing it in like a very confusing way. I'm seeing that, chat. Like, it's very, let's do this, and then now that you've got that done, let's go back and redo a step that I could have just showed you all in one piece and explained it better. I'm assuming anybody that's watching this that has some experience with this, like Ray, for example, already pointing out what next steps are. So anybody watching this video is new like me, and it should be explained a little bit more linear than that, than just kind of bouncing over and then going back to something we just covered. Because it's making it confusing. Now, I have an education, so I kind of get where we're at here, and I'm following along pretty well. But assuming, like, the purpose of these dev diaries is to teach myself something that I know nothing about. And I could see how the layman would be very confused by the layout of the video.
To you, normally people associate public with variables, but we can actually make functions public as well. If we now save this and go into Unity, we can add a new on-land event. So we'll hit the plus sign here. And here we can feed in a component. So we want the player movement component. And then we can go and choose a particular...
All right, you can chill out for a second because we're not there. Haha, an education, that's funny. Hey, man, you know you like it. If you were actually on your PC right now, Johnny, and you were trying to design a game, you'd probably be following along, fucker. Compile. I'm going to save my work so far. File. Save. Okay. Now what's he doing?
Go into Unity. We can add a new on-land event. So we'll hit the plus sign here. And here we can feed in a component. So we want the player movement component. And then we can go and choose a particular function. We'll go under the player movement script. And in here we can now see our new... on-land particular function in a component. We can add a new on-land event. So we'll hit the plus sign here. And here we can feed in a component. So we want the player movement component.
Gotcha. That's what he did. Okay, so he dragged that up there. Got the player... Which one did he drag? I'm from a middle-class family.
The plus sign here.
I worked at McDonald's when I was 15.
And here we can feed in a component. So we want the player movement component.
So right under the player movement script, we'll go, dude, drag. Why is it not letting me drag that?
We'll hit the plus sign, save this, and go. Here we can feed in a component. So we want the player movement component.
That's because I'm a fucking stupid ass.
And then we can go and choose a particular function. We'll go under the player movement script. And in here we can now see our new on landing function. If we select that and then play the game, we should see that whenever we jump, it plays our jump animation, and as soon as we land, it transitions right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it though. I'm still getting a shit ton of console errors. Nothing's happening. I'm not getting my jump animation.
Super cool. We can also see that for some reason it only plays the first frame of our jump animation, and the reason for that
Player jump, player walk. So it's got the right animation. And that transitions to idler walk. Player idle. Any state to player jump. Something's wrong with my animation. Parameter is jumping does not exist. That's because I fucking... Did I mistype that? Is jumping. Okay. Recompile. Still not playing the animation. Is jumping does not exist. Uni-Engine Animator set bool's parameter is jumping does not exist. How does that not exist? I set the bool to is jumping. Input horizontal about jump animator set bool is jumping true. Just fucking install. Stop bothering me. Player movements. Set bool is jumping true. I don't have an is jumping parameter in here. So this says when I hit the jump button to jump, like to make the character jump, and then tell the animator that I'm jumping. Then, when I land, tell the animator I'm not jumping. But there's no function of his jumping. Should I have made that all one word? There's a disconnect here and I'm not sure what it is. Okay, we've made progress. So it was a spacing issue in the code there, but now the animation's too big. All right. Whoop, whoop. Nepal, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the dungeon. We reached our follower goal of 60, chat. Whoop, whoop. W's in the chat. Hell yeah. Fucking W. Welcome so much. Or thank you so much. And welcome to the dungeon. I was like real deep into figuring out why my jump animation's not working. And I honestly can't figure it out. But I did notice that it looks like there's something with the animation itself. See how it gets really big? I've got the idle animation and the movement animation going, but when I jump, see that shit? Yeah, that is weird. So I'm wondering, because I spliced, it only does it sometimes though. Like if I tap and let go, see what I mean? But if I tap and hold, or if I'm moving, I'm sorry, yeah, if I'm moving and I hit it, it stays on screen longer. So I don't think it's an issue with the coding. I think it's an issue with the sprites themselves. So I'm going in here to the jump animation. How did it look before you spliced it? It wouldn't work before I spliced it. So I went in here and grabbed the whole jump animation was one cell and it wasn't split. So what I can do is I can duplicate it for you because I am always open to our soft delete can't be executed because the selection is a root folder. Okay. So originally it looked like this, right? But we go in here and yeah. So if I go in here to the sprite editor, it's obviously it didn't look like this. It didn't have the individual boxes on there. But I'm wondering if it's a sizing issue. So it's center normalized 40, 50 by 70 height. So if I go into my walk animation. Appreciate it, Johnny. Appreciate it. Oh, wrong one. Go to the walk. So it's 21 by 45 by 74. The center thing always trips me up. It should pivot in the center, though. Like they all should. Because isn't it later on when we do the camera? Because I haven't coded the camera to follow the player yet, but I thought that the camera has to follow that center pivot. Or can't I... I mean... It's got to be a sizing issue. I'm so stumped right now. Custom pivot 0505. It pivots on the center. X21. That's just the... There's a joke there too. So the X is fine. The height is fine. The width is fine. There's got to be something going on here that I'm not seeing. So the jump animation here. Let's go ahead and... Well, maybe it's max size 2048. What is this right here? Oh, that's the same. 2048 Mitchell automatic none. Oh, dude. I think I found it. Because it was set to 100 pixels per unit. My walk was 1,000, so I'm going to change it back to 1,000. See if that has any effect. Okay. Well, I don't get the blown up. I got the big blow up to go away. So we're making progress. But she doesn't play the jump animation when she jumps. It's been a while since I did anything relative to 2D sprite animation, but when you play it in the jump animation graph, what does it show? Let's take a look. Boop. Let's stop that. Animations. Let's go to jump. Nothing, because it doesn't give me the play button. As a matter of fact, it doesn't give it to me for walk either. Oh, is it in the controller? So we'll player walk. That's where you set the transitions. So the transitions from any state right here. Any state player jump. No exit time. Preview source state. Wait, what? Preview source state shouldn't be idle. Right? Hey, I think we got it. No, I don't want to speed it up, fool. Why was it previewing idle? It's so tiny. Okay. All right, so I think it might be fixed. I changed the preview state or the source state. So let's take a look. That'd be really weird if that was what it was. No. It just goes into the idle. That is so buggy, dude. You see, why is it... Oh, dude. See how it quickly checks and unchecks the is jumping bool here? Like it's a quick flash. Do I have to be holding jump? Like, it's not giving it time to play the animation. Player controller. Are you using the old or new input system? Well, I'm a beginner. And everything I've learned over the last 30 days, I've been watching YouTube videos that are 6 years old. This tutorial was made in 2018. So, being a newbie and I'm getting all my information from YouTube, probably old. But the player movement script, I'm going to open it back up anyway. Well, I'll trust the files in this window. Yeah, get out of here, fool. Get out of here. Public fold, 3 references. Get out of here. Input get button down, jump. If jump is true, animator set bool is jumping true. And then there's just a public void on landing is jumping false. Time fixed delta time crouch jump false. Why is this here? Why is jump false underneath the controller? Run speed, animator. I'm stumped. Player movement on landing, player down. Ground. Ground check, player box, 2D collider. That's fine. Jump force. Air control. That just means I can move left and right while I'm in the air. I want to look at this animator again. Player jump. Speed 1. Motion time mirrored. Yeah, we want to mirror it depending on which direction he's facing. Because the walk... Oh, no, the walk's not mirrored, so we won't do that. Cycle offset. So this can go back to idle. Maybe I delete the idle transition. Let's do that. I can always re-add that. I think that's what's fucking it up. Oh, we made progress. Okay, so she's playing the jump animation. After we... Yeah, I played after the jump. But after the first one, it's playing in the jump, like that. So... down here, it's playing... Punk12868, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the dungeon. Gotta check the conditions for the transitions. From the jump to the idle? So I need to rewrite that transition and then... Okay. Let's do that. Make transition. Back to idle. And then no exit time. With the duration of 0. Let's close this preview for a second. Let's see. From jump to idle, speed is less than 0.01. Right? So then if that's the case, it'll only go back to idle once it's no movement. But it's detecting no movement in air. See that? We're back to where we started here. So if it's... Yeah, see, it's unticking is jumping immediately on that first frame and going back to idle. So I think you're right. I gotta edit. There's something here that I'm not understanding, and it's frustrating because I'm so new. But there's gotta be maybe another condition. Is jumping false? Could only play when it's not jumping. No, that's not it. It's not going to be true either. See, wait a minute. You can uncheck is jumping if the player is grounded inside the code. I did that. I know you just got here, so let me open that up for you, but hold on just a second because now it's playing the player jump, but it's not. It's not doing it when I'm moving and jumping. Only when I'm standing still and jumping, but then it goes to the last frame of the jump. And we're moving left plays nothing. Okay. All right. Okay. So, you said uncheck is jumping if the player it's grounded inside the code. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the movement controller here. Yeah, fine. Is jumping right here. Animator set boolean is jumping true. Input get button down jump. Jump equals true. Animator set bool is jumping true. Animator set bool is jumping false on landing. So on landing has to be in. Help me out here, chat, because I'm still pretty new. Events. Player movement on landing. Set jump to false. Look the fixed update real quick. What does that mean? I'm sorry, Punk. I'm still pretty new to Unity, so you might have to elaborate just a little bit. Look the fixed update real quick. Inside the code? Oh, gotcha. Let's see. Fixed out the time. Fixed update. Nothing. The fixed up. Shut the fuck up, Johnny. All right. Oh, baby, that's all. Horizontal movement, full jump. False. So you're telling Unity there is like another update. So put the jump constantly to false at the bottom. Right here. Yeah, jump at the bottom's right down here. Jump is always false under the controller here. Yeah. Unless I'm missing something. Because it's set to always false. It should be. If I'm understanding that right, Punk, it should be... This should be telling it it's false every frame unless it calls back to the if input, get button down jump, and then set the bool jump. Then that makes jump true because it's always false according to this fixed update. So that's why I'm stumped. That's where I defer to chat because I have 28 days of Unity experience versus you guys seem to know exactly what you're talking about here. So, well, update and fixed update are like the same. Yeah. Should this be a public void? Shouldn't that be a public? Controller.move, horizontal move, times time, fixed out the time, crouch, jump. Jump equals false all the time. Hover void on landing. Let me go ahead and save. Jump equals true. Alright. Also, when on landing is getting invoked as an event. So public void on landing, it sets the animator to false, is jumping false. So on landing is public and it's getting invoked as an event in the on right here on the events. So on land event, player movement dot on landing, and then it runs the player script, which tells it to turn jump to false. So in my inexperienced brain, my script is saying that jump is always false until I tell it to jump. And once I jump, it should be playing the jump animation until I collide with the ground or on landing. And then on landing, it causes it to be false again. So what am I doing wrong? I mean, she clearly jumps, plays the jump animation when she wants to. Does not go back to idle. From any state to jump, yeah. I got it right here. I know it's kind of small on the screen there. I apologize. Let me blow that up. Boop. So on any state here, player jump, set here. Well, then the question would be, why does the is jumping goes to false without touching the ground? Exactly. Exactly. Is jumping. That's the current state of my confusion right now. You hit it right on the head, punk. I can't get used to calling you punk. It feels like I'm disrespecting you. I come from a little bit older generation where calling somebody a punk is a bad thing. So the any state transitions is jumping is false. I don't get why it's not automatically going to player idle. It's like this transition isn't working. Idle. Idle's looping. Idle's good. Nepal said, from any state to jump, did you set a condition for that? So yes, we got that, and that's where I'm thinking the problem is here. Punk says, also the reason would be on code, I imagine you could add a debug.log inside the on landing. Let me see something real quick. Where's that? Animations. The animation controller. Player idle, player jump. So the idle loops. The animation doesn't loop. 12 frames per second, 60 frames per second. 12 and 12. Player controller. All right. Where's your player speed controller? Let's open that up. Just to check when it's triggering the event. Inside will be a code. I imagine you can add a debug log inside the on landing. Where did I put that? Animator on landing. So we can just put a debug in here. Get out of there, stupid ass. Oh shit. Assets player movement CS 3837 identifier expected. Oh, some message. Yeah. I put it in the wrong fucking spot. I'm dumb. I was just wondering why these parentheses were empty here. I'm going to get rid of that public too. Below the animation line you had... I think I'll just put right here. Oh, gotcha. Alright, that makes sense. So above or below the animator line you had. So we'll put it below then. And we'll just go debug log and then name it. Let's name it Punk 12868. All right, we got that. But inside of on landing to check the event also. So do it twice or just the one? Oh, just the one. Inside the on landing. So animator here. There we go. Go ahead and save it. All compile errors have to be fixed. Jumping is cool. Oh, I forgot the colon. So fucking stupid, bro. And then you said just on landing. Jumping is cool, but is jumping not behaving so cool? Yeah. Right here. Is jumping is not behaving cool. Jumping's not cool. That's right, Johnny used to do some jumping jacks, fool. Compile my script. Jump downwards. What the fuck is going on with this? Alright, so where can I open the debug log? I see it all in here. Get out of here. Player movement on landing. Press the clear button there and then start playing. I appreciate you guys helping me out, man, because watching YouTube videos only goes so far. Nothing's showing up. Now just play the game. Well, nothing's showing up. It's just telling me about the debug log. Her walk animation doesn't loop either. You notice that? Yeah, I'm seeing that too. My brain is fucking fried right now, chat. All right, I need to go back to the basics real quick. The walk animation should loop. First and foremost. There we go. I fixed that. That was a simple check mark. All right, so the walk animation loops. Let's save our fucking progress. That was bugging the piss out of me. Okay, now the jump animation. I'm going back to the basics here. Maybe have it loop. Maybe because the... Nope, that has nothing to do with it. Fuck. Is jumping. Uncheck. It was set to true. You have a long way. Look at it's just doing the thing. He's playing the... Oh my god, this shit was so much easier in Godot. I will say that. Animating 2D sprites was way easier in Godot. Oh man. Idle's playing. Walk is playing. Jump wants to play. But you notice this check mark right here, Punk, where it flashes the is jumping true like really quick. It should stay, it should be is jumping true until on landing. I just made my animations play through code. The animator hell is just... Yeah. It's... Ugh. It's a pain in the dick. Dude, for like 3 days, the weather here is edging and is finally released and we just got a downpour. Johnny, you know it's 2024. You know edging means something different now, right? You can't say edging anymore, bro. It doesn't mean the same like it meant when we were younger. Honestly, Punk, I think, and Nepal, I think it has something to do with is jumping being false. Because as soon as I tap that button, it flashes true, and then it goes away back to false. Look, you edgelord. Fuck you, Johnny. Nepal says, what if you commented out setting jump to true in the fixed update? Let's give it a shot. I'm open to ideas. Problem is inside the code because something in there is telling to put the is jumping to false before touching the ground. I would concur with both of you. All right, so we got our debug log. Okay. False, not true. Commented out setting jump to true in the fixed update. Give it a shot. Set it to false in the event. Let me check the first commenting out, see if that worked first. I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to let chat just watch. We're gaming, chat. We're gaming. I can't make it stop either. Okay, that's not it. We're fucking gaming. Alright. So we won't comment that out. And then Pug said, set that jump to false in the event. Alright, let's give it a shot, bud. Oh, fuck. I'm glad you guys showed up, all of you, because I'd probably still be staring at this screen wondering what the fuck was going on. In the event, let's go player. Let's just recap. Go from any state. Maybe the problem is inside the character controller, like the other script attached. You think so? Is jumping true? Then it jumps. Has exit time. Preview source state player jump. There I go. Settings. Fixed duration. Interruption source. Wait, what do I have two of? From here? Inside the character controller. This one? Well, that's the animation controller. Scripts controlling a character. Character controller 2D script here. And then a movement script. So you're saying because I have two scripts? On player movement, on landing. On crouch boolean. We're not worried about crouch yet. Open that controller. Maybe the problem is inside that one. Inside the character controller. Oh, dude, I haven't even fucked with this yet. This is my first time seeing this. We'll jump, we'll crouch, we'll move, crouch. If crouching, to see if the character can stand up. Crouch. If there is a ceiling in front of them standing up, keep them crouching. Only control the player if ground or air control is turned on. If crouch, reduce the speed of the crouch. Disable the gliders when crouching. Move the character by finding the target velocity. Flip the player input. Flip the player. If the player should jump. M. Grounded. Field, Boolean. Character controller 2D. M grounded. Parameter, bool, jump. Add a vertical force to the player. M grounded. False. Rigid 2D, add first force vector, and jump force in there. Private, void, flip. Alright, whatever he's facing, that's what he does. That's from Breckies, because it's really complete. It's right over here, bro. I do have to admit, in teaching myself Unity, I've just been watching Bracky videos. But yes, this character controller I downloaded from, there's the, right here, the character controller. So if we click on this, yeah. So this whole character controller. Did he set up the jump animation too? No, I did that. Like creating the animation for the jump itself. No, because they made their own sprites here. And I used my own sprites. Yeah, I'll admit 100%. Because the whole point of the the Dev Diary series that I've got going on right now is that I'm teaching myself Unity from knowing nothing about Unity. Like, I've played around in Godot and Construct, and I've played around a little bit in other engines, but never Unity. So I wanted to give a series to my viewers, like, if you knew nothing about Unity, could you make a game with nothing but free tools, like YouTube videos, downloaded scripts, free sprites and free tile sets and all that stuff? Could we make a game from scratch to completion with doing nothing but free stuff and teaching it to ourselves? So yes, full disclosure, I downloaded like a lot of this stuff because I didn't know anything about it. Did he set the jump animation to the transitions? Yes, I did the transitions. So the transitions were me watching a video on transitions. So the transition from the one that's not working here is Copilot is free if you're okay with coding assistance. I have not used Copilot. So that would be something that would be pretty interesting to do. Player idle working. I wish it would highlight the transition when it happens. Having a roadmap. I agree. And I thought watching the Bracky like videos were like the basics. You know what I mean? Like, this is like episode like 3 or 4 in his playlist. So if I go back, videos. Well, now I think I goofed. Yeah.
Hello everyone, in this video we'll make our player
Shush.
move.
Yeah, so this is episode 4. Like, episode 1 was just like getting started, the basics, programming. Last week we did all the coding for all the movement stuff and all the movement controllers, and we set up all of the colliders and rigid bodies and stuff like that. So the video you mentioned for the transitions, that was from Bracky's 2. Yes, I've done nothing but watch the Bracky's videos and then like do what he says here in Unity. I haven't gone to any other website, any other videos, none of that stuff. Are you guys like employees of Bracky's? Alright, let's see. Yeah, right. Me too. I'd probably learn a lot more. Okay. Are you just watch the transition part just to make sure I'm not missing anything subtle? Liar, you Googled earlier. Oh, I did. I did Google earlier, but you know what, Johnny? You smart ass. I went to Reddit. Unity's not letting me drag and drop PNGs into my animation window. I Googled the shit. Full disclosure. I've been Googling and watching videos. Those trip me out. I've been coding for a while, so glad to help here. Oh, I appreciate it, Punk. You're always welcome here, man. All the help is always welcome. I really think something simple is going on here, and I'm just missing it. I think it's a really simple fix, and it's just I'm not smart enough in Unity to catch it. I'm wondering if you guys are right and it's calling something on the transition. Condition is jumping true. So that goes from any state to jump if jumping is true. Then it goes to idle if speed is nothing. No way. Well, that wasn't it. I'd lean to think having a complete script kind of makes Having that complete it's kind of killing it. Like doing a basic one first, making it move, then jump, then the animations. I appreciate it, Johnny. So Punk, you're saying like start over from scratch and like write my own controller? Like from step one and not use somebody else's controller? That probably would be that probably wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest. Because I feel like, yeah, number one, it's only one script. And just looking at the script I have now, it doesn't look like it would be hard. And I do think that I might be doing myself a disservice in that regard because I'm just copying somebody else's and then typing what this guy said to type. And I might be missing some of the subtleties and the meaning behind some of the coding. So I think you might be onto something there. Games Plus James, I know, has a 2D platformer tutorial. That might be worth checking out. Games Plus James. You know what? And I'm pretty open and transparent on this channel. You won't get a lot of like bullshit out of me. So I'm going to do Games Plus James there. And just because I take my viewers very seriously.
Hey everybody, this is Games Plus James.
Bam! Just for you, Napal. I appreciate it. And for Punk, let's do how to write a... You don't take me seriously? That's because I've known you for like 4 or 5 years, Johnny. How to write a 2D movement script from scratch. 2D player movement. Thing is, having a complete one that it's kind of hard to understand will probably make you dizzy.
A moving and jumping player is the foundation of every platformer.
Let's see if this guy has what we need, Punk. Because if he does, then I'll
And some of
bookmark
you
this
have
video.
asked me if I could make a simple tutorial about player movement with Unity's old input system. So let's boot up Unity and see where the magic happens. I set up a small demo scene with some platforms, and each one of them has a sprite renderer and a box
coding in Flow. It was a 2D platformer.
Collider 2D. I also created some folders and imported my player sprite as well as a simple square for my platforms. Okay, let's create an empty game object called player and reset its position.
You remember this video, Punk? Oh, I forgot what I was going to do. So you guys are new here. Hold on. Thanks for reminding me. That was in October 22, and I haven't done a 2 platformer since. Boop, 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 boop. It was... where's the guy's name? He's at the beginning of the stream. Let me just scroll up. Ray _ BLR. Everybody that helps me with any part of the game is going to wind up in the code of the game. Even though it's probably just going to be a generic platform that I upload to Steam for free. Anybody that helps contribute to the game at some point in time in chat gets added to the game's code. Okay. File. Save. I know it's not much, but I'm a simple guy. And I said contributors instead of contributors. Once you're done with that, let's see the player jump real quick. Wait, will it do something fucking stupid? 8 years. Johnny has not been 8 years, has it? Wait, is it going to do something really stupid? Oh, no, in the code? How do I pull up the code while I'm playing it? Nothing happened. No, don't play it? Oh, okay. What do I do? Let's look at the code. Oh, okay. You want to look at the code. There we go. But I didn't do anything in the code, though. All I did was added contributors' names down here. See, Johnny, you could get your name in a video game if you just actually contributed something like, you know, contributional, if that's a fucking word. All right, let's see what this guy has to say.
Position, rotation, and scale. Next, we add a sprite renderer to our player and select our player sprite. To be affected by Unity's built-in physics engine, our player
Go to the area where you hit the jump button and set jump to true. Yeah, right here. Jump true. Set bool jumping is true. So get button down. Yeah, get button down is crouch. Which I don't have crouch done yet. She doesn't even have a crouch animation. I have to go into... Next episode, I'm going to go into Photoshop and create an animation sprite set for crouching. Only jump when jump is not true. Contribute these nuts. Johnny, if that's what you're going to do with your VIP status, I love you, man. Only jump when jump is not true. Get button down. Ampersand, ampersand, exclamation point, jump. Yeah, right here. Get button down. Jump. Am I missing something, Nepal? Do you want me to code it just like that? Add an ampersand, double ampersand, and then jump. Ah, gotcha. Okay. I told you I was a noob to this. So, get button down right here. So, and jump after the MP. So right here. Oh, after the MP. Gotcha. So in between the two parentheses brackets. And exclamation point. Space jump or just exclamation jump? After the MP, colon. Oh. Jump. Okay, just like that then? Like, just like that. Because I got two of you type it, so I don't want to fuck it up there. It'd be, yep, just like that. So then hit save. And then try it. I cast confusion spell. I have I think the last D&D character build that I had was a vampire elf, and I think my speech and shit was all up like 17 or some shit. I could just talk you out of casting confusion. Then comment out the jump equals false. Are you sure? Oh yeah, where she jumps like repeatedly. Let's give it a shot. So we do that. Run and save. All right, she's not super jumping. I take that back. So we're back to the super jumping. But I think we uncomment that jump is false. We don't comment that out. Put it inside the on landing, maybe? Jump animation still not playing though. You see it at the bottom here? It's still ticking, is jumping like for like half a second, and the animation over here tries to play. I'm gonna spam it. I can almost keep it lit. This fucking sucks. This fucking sucks. You know what? This is why in Super Mario Brothers for the NES, why do we need on landing? Because then it calls the animation for it calls back to the idle animation. So right here. So it is jumping false, and then it goes from jump back to player idle. Making shenanigans on Unity. This is why Super Mario Brothers for the NES had one sprite for jump. Shigeru Miyamoto was like, fuck this. Just play one sprite if he jumps. Yeah, because the Nepal, that it has to, because that calls it back to the idle animation here. Set that to 0. And then Brackies, in their infinite wisdom, said to add this on-land event here. Jump force 600. Movement smoothness. Air control. Ground check, crouch disable. Controller. If it wasn't for me bullying you, I mean encouraging you to still be sitting in your basement being a weirdo. This is true. If I wasn't working on Unity right now on this fucking game, I'd probably be playing Call of Duty right now. Grinding zombies. I have to concede right now, chat. I honestly am stumped. I honestly don't know what the fuck's going on. I have a nagging suspicion that it's right here. I have a feeling it's right here in the any state. Because when we deleted, I don't know if you remember earlier, but when we deleted the transition from jump to idle, it played the jump animation when we jumped. But the problem is here, if I delete this, if I delete that transition, save it, it has to be something in the transition not calling back. See, now it plays the jump animation perfectly, like it should. Walk animation works fine. Idle animation works fine. It flips both directions like it's supposed to. And when you jump, it plays the jump animation. It just stays there and doesn't go back to idle. Yeah. Exactly, punk. Nothing's telling when is jump is false to go away. On landing, animator set bool is jumping to false. Yeah, and if I comment that out, she just jumps like an idiot all over the screen. Which is the opposite. It should never jump if I set that to false. Or if I... Wait, no. Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's not it. On landing. So what about what is the parameters for on landing? Set float, get button down, jump. Set full jumping true. There's nothing here defining what on landing is. Or am I just talking outside of my side of my neck right now? But looking at this as a layman, there's nothing defining what on landing is. Does it still get set to false? If yes, then it's something else. Setting is jumping to false. Is on landing just a universal state that the code understands what it means? Because I have to define everything else. I have to define which axis. I have to define the booleans. I have to define which button I'm pressing. But here I just have on landing, and it's not defining what on landing means. On landing is the function you put inside the event when it fires. Can I get rid of that? Can I get rid of that on landing function altogether? And make a collision event instead? Because in my mind, if I tell the script that, okay, fuck all that, when this collider box collides with another collider box, jumping is false. Because that's an easy way. Yeah, because I'm stupid and I'm going to look for the easy way because I'm a new guy, right? But in my limited skill brain, that would be the only thing that you could set. It's the box collider. Oh, this bitch has 2 colliders, though. I'd review what Bracky said to understand what the exact purpose of landing. Yeah, he doesn't, though. That's the problem. The videos are great, but it's assuming that you're using the exact same sprite sheets, the exact same downloaded whole thing that they've got. So something is telling is jumping and on landing. Because it's not going to be a game where you're going to collide with anything in the air. Except, like, you know, when you pick up power-ups and stuff. So maybe if I just set the script to, you know, on collision, jump is false. Such bullshit. Nah, I appreciate it, Nepal. Thank you so much for all the input. And I'm probably going to be hopping off here too. But you guys have been more than helpful. We'll put fucking Johnny loves dick and the code there because he's been contributing. All right. I'm working on a game called Bubble Tank Frenzy on my channel if anyone is interested. Hey, man, that's awesome. Before you head out, link to my Discord down below, man. If you want to join the Discord and like post a link to your stream and, you know, we can all check it out. I would love to see the game you're working on too. So join up in the Discord and send me a message. All right. Plunk, I'm stumped. And I honestly don't feel like going on to the next step. I think I need to watch this video. And you guys were mentioning... Who did I just subscribe to? Oh, is it like James Makes Games or something like that? I think I've got... Braggies. Jesus Christ, I subscribe to way too many people. When that happens to me, I just start over. I'm thinking about, yeah, Games plus James right here. Okay. Making a better 2D camera. And that's what I wanted to that's what I wanted to be doing tonight, was messing with the camera and doing the background of the game, because I figured these animations would be so easy. That's what I get for thinking shit was easy. Did you join the Discord? Ooh, Nepal, welcome to the Discord. Appreciate it, Punky. Welcome to the Discord as well. All right, so yes, and there is like a viewer's streams kind of thing. If you want to post a link to your stream on my Discord, I'm totally okay with it. Just keep it in the right channel to prevent a bunch of spam. I think I'm calling it tonight, chat. I think I'm calling it. 3 hours of working with animations in Unity, and my beer was empty like 2 hours ago. Actually, Punk, you know something? That's what the problem is. I was drinking and coding. Don't drink and code, kids. Just like you don't text and drive, don't drink Modelo and code. So, this fucking shit. Oh, yeah, fuck Unity Animator. Hey, man, it's all kinds of free speech going on up in here right now, man. Fuck Unity Animator. For reals. That's funny. Oh, good lord. On my own as an asset, then it broke. You know what's gonna be in hell for me when I go to hell? And, like, my punishment is gonna be figuring out Unity animations. Like, Satan's gonna have a desk set up for me. And it's gonna be something really fucked up, like the scroll wheel on the mouse doesn't work. Or some stupid shit. He's like, here, I want you to code animations in Unity for the next millennia. Alright, I want to thank everybody. Yeah, Unity animations are whack. I'll figure it out, though. I'm not giving up. So, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. All the new followers, Punk, Nepal, you guys have been great tonight. Johnny, thank you so much, as always, my brother, for keeping me company and making me laugh tonight. You guys are truly legends. Links to all my socials are down below. If you want to check out my very shitty YouTube page, if you want to check out my very bare bones and boring X Twitter, links down below. Welcome to the Discord, you guys. I'm very active in my Discord, so if you guys ever want to talk, hang out, chill, share memes, all that stupid, silly shit, that's where you find me. I'm in there pretty active. Unlike most streamers, I'm pretty active in my Discord with my community. So thank you guys. That's gonna do it for episode 5 of my Dev Diaries. I will be back Monday for Retro Rewind Mondays. So we dive into 8, 16, 32-bit eras, and we play some old school retro games on Mondays. So definitely take it easy. Dark Jones! Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. So you guys take it easy. I love you guys, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the love, support, and the help. I will catch you guys in the next one. And as always, make sure you guys tell somebody you love them. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Peace.